If he really did all the things he's saying, I hope that gets proven in court, and I hope he gets punished if he really did that. If he didn't do that, I hope he gets exonerated, and I hope he gets the... Hill to 3 months in prison and 3 more in house arrest for failing to pay taxes on close to $1 million in earnings.
Joe Rogan says that just as Floyd Mayweather was getting ready to slip out of the country to dodge the fallout from his financial crimes, the Federal Bureau of Investigation stepped in and arrested him. According to Joe Rogan, Floyd Mayweather caught wind of an FBI probe into his taxes and tried to flee before the situation spiraled. Joe then shared an agent's report stating that Mayweather was required to appear for questioning. When agents went to his home, he was already gone, but they tracked him down just before his flight took off. Both of his private jets have been grounded until the investigation is complete.
I also remember all those guys got popped by the IRS. Because they were, yeah, they all got popped because none of them were paying taxes. They were all getting paid cash.
Yeah.
And so they all got in trouble. I remember working at Nick's Comedy Stop. They offered you could get paid in cash or in coke.
Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah.
That's how wild those days were.
Yeah.
It was also reported that Floyd Mayweather chose not to speak to the media, letting his lawyer handle it instead. The lawyer kept it short, saying, "We're here for questioning, that's all. We're cooperating fully and expect to be out of here soon." When asked about Floyd's alleged financial crimes and tax problems, the lawyer defended him, saying, "Floyd Mayweather has always had a strong reputation as a top athlete and businessman. He's not the type to get involved in anything shady. Any claims suggesting otherwise are simply false."
I think we're going to have very good luck. I think hopefully next week after Floyd Mayweather wins again, I think he's going to come right into the rescue. He does a lot of
When asked about Floyd Mayweather's private jets being grounded, his lawyer firmly denied it, saying, "No, that's not true. I don't know where you all got that from, it's just media rumors." Floyd was called in for questioning, and once that's done, we're good. However, not everyone was convinced. One boxing fan commented, "Floyd picked a lawyer just like himself. I can't tell who lies better. When he's found guilty and locked up again, we won't have to hear any more lies from this lawyer."
Well, obviously, he's been busy. They've both been busy, but I think we will be able to make bail. My interest in getting the bail reduced is that, it's still money out of the family's pockets, and maybe 100,000, 200,000 here, I guess after a while it's real money, right? So from 5 million from 10 million to 5 million saves $500,000, which I think appropriately shouldn't be wasted.
Another fan chimed in, saying, "This is cap, man. You're literally denying the claims of an FBI agent for this. You should be getting arrested with your client. I don't know why Floyd doesn't have even one good person around him." A different fan joked, "We know why Floyd was arrested. You don't have to feed us lies, sir. Just get your check and wipe your mouth. We both know you don't care about him that much." As for the real reason behind Floyd's arrest, part of it traces back to a tax move he made 8 years ago, a decision that has now come back to hit him hard.
Referred to the person as should, and the judge indicated there was case law that said a unique name could be the basis to prove identity. And the case he showed, I think, is different than what the law is. I mean, it's a very limited circumstance when that was admissible. And the cases we pointed out to him said, that's not the case here. So that's a change of circumstance, in our opinion. So we wanted the judge to...
Professional boxer Floyd "Money" Mayweather has reportedly cleared his $22 million tax debt to the IRS, using money he earned from his August 26th fight against Conor McGregor, according to The Blast. However, the way Mayweather and his legal team handled the situation is worth a closer look. According to ESPN, Mayweather filed a petition claiming his assets weren't easily accessible, and he asked the IRS to accept smaller payments until he got his payday from the McGregor fight. Don Williamson, an accounting professor at American University, pointed out that this move looked more like a delay tactic. He explained that the courts wouldn't have had enough time to assign a judge to Nevada to handle the case before the fight took place. In other words, Mayweather and his lawyer were counting on the IRS's slow process to buy some time. It was a risky move, though, because the IRS could have frozen his fight earnings while waiting for a court hearing. Mayweather's attorney, Jeffrey Morse, gave an even stronger take when speaking to Fight.com. He said, "Floyd's a smart investor. If he's making returns that are much higher than what he owes in IRS interest, then any smart businessperson would delay payment." Morse explained that Floyd simply saw it as a smart business decision, to defer his taxes until it made the most financial sense. He added, "We filed the petition mainly to let Floyd keep making money off his big investments while settling the taxes at a time that worked best for him."
Going after him, are they being pressured by someone else to do this? What is the reason why they're doing it? And what do they have on him? I don't know.
But nobody knows. A lot of people are acting like they know. If you go read it, everybody saying he got...
Both of these tactics carried serious risks for Mayweather for two main reasons. The IRS doesn't always act predictably, and Mayweather already had a history of issues with them, making it less likely they'd cut him any slack. Over time, interest on his debt kept piling up while Mayweather showed little effort to pay it off, which ultimately led to him being taken into custody. Commenting on the situation, Joe Rogan said he's never been more disappointed in Floyd Mayweather than he is now.
I owe that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money.
Joe Rogan admitted it was the first time he had read something so wild about Floyd Mayweather, and he said he was disappointed by the whole situation. That he also urged the FBI to dig even deeper into Mayweather's dealings, suggesting there's a strong chance that some of the money he moved around had doubled and been hidden long before any investigations even started. The situation really started to draw public attention after Mayweather posted a video on social media showing off a real estate purchase worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Point when they're like, "Hey, it's time to pay your taxes." And you go like, "All right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money." And then they go, "That's true, but you owe 50 more." And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell those.
After Floyd posted the video and revealed the location of the property, many people started digging around to find out exactly where it was and whether he really owned it. Boxing fans and others did some serious research and began sharing what they found, which eventually made enough noise to catch the attention of federal agents. The agents gathered some evidence, made a few preliminary rulings, and started digging deeper. Joe Rogan also shared that Mayweather has another issue. He reportedly owes $1 million in Mexico after failing to show up for a scheduled conference a few months ago. The Money Man had committed to making an appearance, even if only by video call, to address the Mexican media, but the 5-division world champion never showed. The whole event turned into a disaster, leaving organizers and journalists confused and frustrated as they sat waiting for no reason, even with top professional boxers like Jamie Munguia present. Ben Thompson explained that part of the problem was that Ortiz, who shared the same rep as John Gotti III, pushed for a rematch with Gotti instead of focusing on a second fight tied to Mayweather's 2011 bout. ESPN's Salvador Rodriguez, who attended the event, confirmed that several major boxing figures showed up, but Floyd Mayweather didn't, even though he had already been paid $1 million upfront. Once again, Mayweather had announced the event publicly, but after that, no real updates ever came from the boxing superstar. It was confirmed that Mayweather didn't show up in Mexico as promised for the conference, and he later deleted the event poster and workout details from his Instagram. The CDMX government, which had been pushing to make the event happen in late summer, expressed their disappointment over how everything played out. The situation got so messy that both fans and the media took shots at Mayweather, questioning what could have been going through his mind when he was reportedly paid $1 million just to show up at the media event. According to WBN, Mayweather's absence left organizers and journalists baffled, with no explanation given for his no-show. The CDMX government, which had been working hard to help make the event happen, expressed their disappointment, leaving a cloud over Mayweather's reputation and casting doubt on the future of his exhibition matches in Mexico. The main issue with Mayweather's debt, both with the Mexican government and the IRS, revolves around his fight with John Gotti III. Until that debt is fully settled, he may be unable to hold any more exhibition matches in Mexico. On top of federal agents looking into his finances, one of Mayweather's former employees, who chose to remain anonymous, provided further details about his whereabouts and why he traveled. The former worker revealed that part of Mayweather's trip was related to unresolved issues with Dubai authorities from the previous year. The source claimed that Mayweather still had serious problems with them and that the trip was an attempt to settle those matters, with a one-year ultimatum given. Additionally, he had legitimate brand deals that needed to be finalized, which also played a role in his travel plans.
That's the problem he's going through. I think it may be getting real.
Wow. That's crazy, man. And you would figure his big homie Al Heyman would rectify it.
Al's a powerhouse. Al's that dude. Al should be able to rectify anything. He's a Harvard lawyer. He's smart. He got PBC. He raised a couple of...
Floyd had promised those in Dubai that he would stage a fight there, claiming it would help bring boxing to the region and make it thrive, similar to what Saudi Arabia had done. They paid him for the event, but Mayweather later backed out, saying it would damage his reputation. However, the situation turned much worse than just a cancelled fight. Floyd had been deeply involved in financial dealings in Dubai, and it could take years for him to settle all his financial issues with them. That's why he made the trip to Dubai, not just to escape, but to find a way out of the situation. According to his former employee, even though casinos aren't legal in Dubai, Mayweather still gambled heavily and lost a lot of money, which led to significant debt.
He got all the money in the world. I think they may not want it. Some different countries be wanting different things. Think about it. How many times have, we've been involved with something and we go, nah, man, we just throw some paper at it. And I'm talking back in the days when we was doing our little 1-2s.
Correct.
And nah, they don't want to drop the case. You'd be like, I'll put the money up for the lawyer. I'll put the money up for the bail. They don't want to drop it.
Mayweather gambled far beyond his budget, thinking that as Money Mayweather, he could just get more funds to cover his losses. But he left Dubai without settling his debts. The former employee stated that while people might think Floyd is free, he's far from it. The only reason things haven't exploded yet is because Floyd has managed to keep the situation quiet, but if it comes to light, he could be in serious trouble. The worker revealed that the last time Floyd ran into trouble in Dubai, he was questioned about the issue. Though the worker hadn't spoken to Floyd directly in a while, he was still in touch with Floyd's right-hand man, whom he'd known for 25 years. The worker tried to reach out but didn't hear back. When he finally spoke to him, the message was clear: look, they got him over there. He was there for a month, and they're saying it's about some money. Floyd's got money, but let's hope they don't take it to the courts.
We really don't got no paper like that saved up.
That's a fact.
So even if he's making $100 million, if he's burning through $5, $6, $7 million a month, you still got taxes, you still got responsibilities. So I don't know nobody's bag, but me and you, we real. We never count nobody's paper. So
not at all.
I hope he got $10 billion. And I hope he get out of his problem.
That's a fact, because you would figure he should be able to just cash him out. Like whatever the tab is, he should be able to wire that.
Yeah, I think he could do that with no problem. I think
the former worker revealed that Floyd reportedly owes some people money for a transaction that didn't go through, and now they're trying to recover it. The rules in Dubai are different from those in the US, and they could either take it to court or handle it another way. The worker said things could have gotten really bad for Floyd. He then added that Floyd was essentially kidnapped during his time in Dubai. He didn't have his passport or any of his belongings but was kept in a 6-star hotel. Despite the situation, he was still acting like the usual Floyd Mayweather. The worker went on to explain what had gone wrong in the past and suggested that this was why Floyd was likely headed back to Dubai, to try and settle things once and for all.
The Billy is something.
He did. He made $1 billion plus. Floyd made a lot of money. And I don't really know Floyd's business, so I'm not going to speak on Floyd's business, but Floyd's very, as the world knows, he's money made, very flashy. Look, man, we both made some real money, but you start burning through, you make $2-3 million a year, you burning through $100,000 a month. You ain't really got that much money.
Shit, he probably spending way more than that.
No, I'm talking regular dudes. Say we made $3 million, we burning through $100,000 a month.
Floyd Mayweather has made over $1 billion, but as the former employee pointed out, when you make so much money and spend so much, it can feel like you're not really getting anywhere. Floyd may have the money, but those he owes in Dubai might not be interested in cash this time. They could be after something else, and his wealth may not be enough to solve the situation. After being detained in Dubai, Floyd was eventually released, which must have been a huge relief. He finally had the chance to continue his businesses, return to his normal life, and possibly hit the gym again. However, things only got worse for him back in America. While he was held in Dubai, it was just him and his private jet that were detained, with police securing the jet to prevent any chance of escape. But now, with his ongoing fraudulent cases and financial crimes in the US, it's been reported that many of his properties are likely to be seized soon, as revealed by his ex-employee.
I don't always talk about different things that I'm doing. What I'm working on right now in New York City, I know you guys, if you guys haven't seen one of my buildings, is One Summit,
Yes.
It's one of the tallest commercial buildings in the world. So just in New York alone, I got 9 skyscrapers.
Yeah. What's the address of that building?
So what I'm working on, I want you guys to know this.
The former employee confirmed the growing complexity of Floyd's situation in an interview, saying, "Yeah, things have gotten more complicated lately, mainly with his accounts and properties. They're trying to force the payment and are going to any length to get it. Floyd is handling it well, and we hope it's resolved, but this is crazy if you ask me." It seems Floyd's debts have been steadily increasing over the months, which is now forcing him to try and sell off his properties. He's reportedly telling officials to stop the federal agents from seizing them, but as the federal agents have shown, they're much more strategic than Floyd. With Mayweather now in custody, it's looking unlikely he'll be released anytime soon. That's all for now. For the latest updates on news, events, and developments in the world of boxing, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications to stay informed.